Welcome back to Matters of the Heart radio broadcast today with your radio host personality, Princess Denise Wright. We're on part 2 of our broadcast today, and I hope that you've been listening and tuning in because we have some great information for you today for those that have a desire to have a beautiful home one day soon. This is the day that you can listen to what's going forth that will truly bless your heart and bless your soul. So we want you to tune in. Keep it locked right there. Also, the phone number, if you go ahead and write this down right now, if you'd like to call in from our special guest today, Ramona Valentine. She's going to give you more information in just a few minutes. So the number is 727-637-2416. Again, if you have pen and paper, 727-637-2416. Okay, now at this time, I'm going to go ahead and introduce my special guest again, Ramona Valentine, that has great information for you today. Ramona, let's go ahead with part 2 of this broadcast today. You ready?
Yes, thank you, Princess Denise.
You're welcome.
NMLS 2379656.
We were talking about getting loans. Okay, so loans for that dream home that you want. One thing that we also have is called I-10 financing. What is I-10 financing? That is for non-U.S. citizens who are working in this country who do not actually have a social security number, but they have what is called an I-10. Now, what all they have to do is have paid taxes, U.S. taxes, federal taxes, for the last 2 years. And they can get financing. They do not have to be a U.S. citizen. They just have to have that I-10 number and have paid federal taxes for 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
That's all. So we also have program for, a lot of people have heard about reverse mortgages. Now, reverse mortgage, it got a bad name, but it's really a good way of people who have very low Social Security payments monthly that own homes to help have some extra income. Okay, so with that, you still own your home. It's just a loan on the home that you do not have to pay. When you pass on or leave that home, then the loan comes due. You have choices. You can sell the home, pay off the loan, take the equity out of it, or your heirs can take over the home, pay the loan, or they can sell the home and take the equity out of it. So you have some choices for that, but it helps a lot of people who are not getting much for their Social Security. They're unable to make ends meet. Maybe they're in that gap where they aren't able to afford food stamps. They aren't able to afford Medicaid or extra help in any way. So those people is a blessing for them because they can get payments. They can get half of that down. So what would happen is you'd get, they would do an appraisal. So let's say your home appraised for $200,000.
Okay.
They would get $100,000, half of that. Okay. So that money, they would get that reverse mortgage for $100,000. They could get it all at once, or they can take half of that and then have monthly payments for the other portion of that.
Oh, yes.
So in other words, they could get $50,000 down, and then take the remaining $50,000 in equal monthly payments.
Okay.
Okay, so that could help them. Or they could take it all, the whole $100,000, in monthly payments. So they could break it up into monthly payments, so instead of taking it all at once. Okay.
I think I've heard that before a few years ago.
Yes, and
Something similar to that, yeah.
yes, so it does help people who are struggling. And if you are paying for your home right now, and this is for people 62 and older, if you are paying a mortgage, it actually stops you from having to pay that mortgage. So, once you get that reverse mortgage, you have no more mortgage payments at that point.
Oh, yes.
So it can get you out of having to pay that mortgage payment every month. So
that sounds great to me.
yeah, and a lot of people, something that insurance, those people 65 and older have Medicare. So Medicare does not cover in-home care. In-home care is just stuff that helps you with your activities of daily living. That's stuff like getting baths, meal prep, things of that nature. So for people who need in-home care, it's also another way of putting money in their pocket and being able to afford that in-home care that they need. So that's just one other product that we offer. So another thing that we have is no housing history required. I don't know if I spoke previously about that, but let's say you came in, you just got here, okay, and you do not have previous housing history. That is, you haven't rented in a place before, you lived with someone. Let's say you lived with a relative, okay?
Oh, yes.
So you can actually get loans based on that as well, on no housing history, up to 75% of that mortgage. Okay.
Okay.
Up to that amount on the loan. There are loans that you can get for investment properties. Now, let's say you want to get an Airbnb and rent that Airbnb out. People are actually still renting those.
Yeah, I know. I hear it's still a lot on TV.
Yeah. So you can actually, if you want to buy a second home or investment property, we have products available for that. With the investment property, you get that loan and you can actually make money off of that investment property. Airbnb, some of those are renting for thousands of dollars a week.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
Yes. So that's
absolutely.
Yeah. I know quite a few people that took the Airbnb vacations during COVID. Yes. So a lot of people really like that.
They did.
And they're still using Airbnb because a lot of people want to go in big groups and enjoy a home.
Here, all family could be big enough for them to stay there about 2 or 3 days or more, and they just love it. Because I know one of my friends from Detroit, Michigan, they came down and wanted to go to Disney, and they got one of them and just enjoyed it. Boy, we had a great time.
Oh, that sounds nice. So also second homes. Some people want a second home. They want a home on the lake.
Or absolutely.
A lot of people want that waterfront. Maybe they want to be up North Florida, South Florida, Central Florida somewhere. And that second home can be sort of a vacation property.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Without a doubt. That's right. Well, let me just give the number again. Again, my radio listener audience, if you'd like to call in at this time to talk with Ramona, the number is 727-637-2416. We'll be waiting on your call. All right, call on in. We got another about 15 minutes left, I think. So give us a call if you have a question or concern. Ramona would be glad to answer it for you. All right.
Okay. So, yes, if anyone has questions. They were considering buying a home, but were afraid. I'm speaking to those that are afraid as well as those that are gung-ho about it. Because a lot of people have fear based on myths. And so we can help straighten those out for you so that you're ready to go ahead and buy your home. And again, stop paying rent. You're paying your landlord's rent, right?
That is a good feeling to know that you got your own. Nothing like it at all. You just got to go through the process. But once you do that, it would have been well worth your time. What a blessing it will be.
Yes, and for first-time home buyers, we specialize in first-time home buyers. When I first bought my home, it was just such a feeling of pride and accomplishment. And how did you feel when you bought your first home?
Loved it because it was, we moved from Saint Pete to Clearwater, and I loved it because it was right by the golf course and everything. So it was really nice because, you know, like I said, being a veteran, you didn't have to put anything down. It just was automatically granted to you. And that was just a good thing. And when we sold it, when we just, you know, got divorced and everything, it worked out to the glory of God. He got his half of it and I got mine.
I understand.
So it was worth it. And then I think, let me see, was that the first house that we had? Yeah. Okay, yeah. And then I bought a house myself and went through, like you said, getting all those other little bills out of the way, and it worked out just fine with that too. Then I had bought my second house, so that worked out really good too.
Well, how did you feel when you bought your second house?
I felt it was really amazing because the house was very, very large, and the children, I think I had 3 children, so they all had their rooms. They enjoyed it. And the thing about it was the landscape, that it was just so big, like about, I think I had about 2, let me see, was it 2 or 3? I can't remember what it was, but it was so much land on it, all in the back, all on the side, all on the other side, all in the front. So then you just had that house just right there in the middle of it. And it just, even though you had all that room, it's just like, gosh, they said, my son or them used to say, well, who in the world gonna get this lawn done? Because this is too much. But because it was just so much land that it was. I don't forgot what it was, like 2 or 3. I can't remember what it was, but it was a lot of landscape.
Well, were you happy? Did you have a sense of pride when you bought that home?
I sure did.
Okay.
I sure did. Absolutely. And when I decided to move, the children didn't want me to move, but I just like, no, I'm just going to start off with something else. I love the house, but I want something else right now. And I went ahead and got something else that really pleased me and them as well. But they didn't really want to move at first, all their little friends there. But, you know, sometimes you just got to just go to another level. So I enjoyed it, but they didn't want to move though.
Okay. Well, you're a pro at buying homes then. 3, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, and that brings me that makes me think about a lot of people are like first-time home buyer. They think that you only have to have bought a home one time. That's not true. You are considered a first-time home buyer if you have not owned a home in 3 years.
That's right.
So if you have not owned a home in the last 3 years or more, you are still considered a first-time home buyer. So you could have bought a home 10 years ago or 4 years ago. And you want, as long as you haven't owned a home in 3 years, you are still considered a first-time home buyer, and we can see if you qualify for the down payment assistance. So yeah, that's another myth. People think if you've bought a home before, you wouldn't be considered a first-time home buyer. So I'm glad you brought that up because that reminded me of that. So
because sometimes you can just run into that right individual. It just so happened the guy was just going from door to door where you are. Are you interested in buying a house? It's like, I'm not sure. I think I had sold a house about 2 or 3 years before that. So when I did get the house again, it was just 3 years later. And I went forth with that and just had a new home. It was really a good bargain, good thing. The rent was only like $400 or something a month. So it just really worked out to the glory. It really did. I was thankful.
That's fantastic. Another thing that we offer is refinancing. Okay, so interest rates are falling some. Okay, so if people are in a higher interest rate, say above 5.5 and higher, now's the time to give me a call, because we can get you, and just a point difference can lower your payment 3, 4, maybe even $500 a month. So that's another thing that we offer is the refinance. And also we talked about the reverse mortgage. There's also one that it's a reverse to purchase. So a lot of people think, oh, how can I afford? Well, they can actually go into a home and not have to have that payment. So they can go into a reverse to purchase, and then when they get into that, no payments. Okay, so that helps the 62 and older. And just some statistics, probably around 40% or so of home buyers are in the millennials, that 26, 27 to 42 range. But about 30% of home buyers are the 62 and older, which was very interesting when I saw those statistics.
Okay.
That's amazing that people 62 and older are still buying homes. And that's about 30% of the market. So
did they also say that these interest rates was going to be going down lower like by the end of the year, or are they going down like right now?
They're already going down. So this is the thing. You don't want to wait because inventory is going. Okay, so there's not a lot of homes out there. So if you see something you want, buy it now. When the interest rates drop to where it's going to be of great benefit to you, we can refinance you. Okay. So you want to get something while you can get something. Okay, so there's still a little bit of inventory out there. I wouldn't wait. If you want a home, I wouldn't wait, especially if you're in Pinellas County.
Oh, yes.
Those homes are going fast in Pinellas County. So the best thing, get it now while you can get it, and then just refinance it later. It's still going to be lower. You're still going to be paying lower rent in most cases than what you're paying now. Your mortgage payment is going to be lower than your rent in most cases.
Is it just for Saint Petersburg, or is it also for the Tampa area, or
is what?
Just if you're trying to find a house or whatever.
Well, Florida in itself, but Pinellas County is just one of the hot spots that people from other states are moving to.
Oh, okay.
That's what's happening. It's just you've got a lot of influx of people moving into Pinellas County.
And they have always been, so yeah.
And Hillsborough too, but Pinellas, for some reason, they just love Pinellas County. So you've got a lot of people moving from up north, down here, and out in California too.
Oh yeah, they always have been. Because when I worked for Allstate, we had to deal with that all the time. They come and stay 6 months and come and then leave. But when it's getting cold there again, all that bad cold weather, they come right to Florida. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the case, but more so now, people have moved here to live permanently. Oh, yeah. You got younger crowds moving here. You're talking about the snowbirds. Oh, yeah. That's the older people, right? So, but it's people moving down here, thousands and thousands a month moving down here, and it started during COVID, during the lockdowns. A lot of people were coming to Florida to get away from the lockdowns.
Well,
So
shoot, I know it is,
2021 was a big year for Florida for sales, for home
yeah.
sales. 2021, 2022. So now the inventory is getting scarce. So now's the time to buy while you can still get a place in Pinellas. There's still some inventory in Pasco County and a few of the other counties. But if you're wanting to be in this particular area, I recommend buying now before all of it's gone, because they're coming in droves to Florida. For people who drive, I've noticed, I know you've noticed the excess traffic, the amount of traffic now is just
and all
crazy.
these apartments they building and condos just overtaken week
That's
by
right.
week, month by month. It's
That's
just
right.
like, I'm telling you.
Yes, and by the way, that's investment property. So you can actually get a FHA loan, 3.5% down for a quadruplex, as much as a 4 apartment unit. So 1 to 4 unit home, you can still get an FHA loan for that and just pay 3.5% down. You can live in one of those units and rent the other 3 out. So I had someone just recently ask about that because they were interested in purchasing a quadruplex, a 4-unit home.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, it was a 4-unit apartment building. Okay, it was one of the small ones, and they were going to rent one. They were going to live in one of them and then rent the other 3 out to pay the mortgage. I said that's smart.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's very smart.
Yeah,
very smart.
They know how to handle it.
Yeah.
So that's good. Absolutely.
All right. So so the FHA can go anywhere from 1 to 4 unit building. Okay, so it can be a family, a single family home, all the way to a 4. So that's a good option.
Sounds good to me.
Yes. And
That's right.
so and also, if you're interested in a fixer-upper, of course, you can get those cheaper. We can also give you up to 105% of the loan. And you can take that money and fix and do some renovations on the inside with it as well.
All right.
So that's another option for people. So I want to give my phone number again.
Oh, yes,
and
go ahead and give that
yes,
information.
in case people always think of something later and want to have a question. It's 727-241-9230. I work 6 days a week. I don't work on Sunday, but I do work 6 days a week. So Monday through Saturday, give me a call. 727-241-9230. Call me for your dream home.
Ramona Valentine.
Everyone have a beautiful and blessed day from Ramona Valentine, your loan officer.